no control of me. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. 24/7 got you on my mind.
Hello everybody and welcome back. It is Monday, February 8th, 2021, and you are listening to episode 103 of the Can I Say Something podcast. I'm your host and a recluse with a juicy caboose, Damian. Joining me today, we have a man who's also allowed to believe things that weren't true.
Deej? Question mark?
Today on the show, we will be discussing, with possible spoilers for all things involved, what we've been watching, including The Good Place, the Netflix film White Tiger, episode 5 of WandaVision, and then concluding with an in-depth review of the new Netflix film The Dig. Right into the show, bicycle@gmail.com, bicycle on Twitter, subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, rate and review it on the old Apple Podcasts. Tell a friend, family member, or stranger. What's up, my friend? How we doing?
God, good. I'm going 100 miles an hour and you just slowed me down. What was that intro?
So a person that was allowed to believe things that weren't true was Marjorie Taylor Greene, whatever her name is, the representative from Georgia that was taken off for committee work this week.
Oh, I heard about that,
because she said that the Jewish laser was responsible for California wildfires, I believe. So, yeah, that's not great.
I don't think that was the only thing she said. Isn't she also saying that school shootings were a hoax?
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Not a great person.
Yeah, not a great look, no. She probably deserves.
No.
Whatever happened to her.
Not great, Bob.
So you're comparing me to her,
Bob,
huh?
Not great, Bob.
So you want me to do
I'm
some
saying
blistering
you were
hot
also
takes.
allowed to believe things that weren't true. That's a reference to, I don't know, let's say WandaVision.
All right.
Stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you wanted my blistering hot takes.
Yeah. But we're doing better. You are doing better, and I'm doing better than Dustin Diamond and Christopher Plummer. Both rest in peace. They both passed through this mortal coil this week.
Sure did.
Two equal titans of cinema. Is that correct?
Yeah, man. That's how I would, describe that as well.
Yeah.
Beloved by all of his former castmates of everything that he's always done. I'm sure they both. Yeah. No, let's not be mean here. What we're talking about. Well, I'm talking about Screech, but he had a tough draw in life. Could he have handled it better? Sure, but hey, I wasn't in that situation with it. So, but hey,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, any way you look at it, stage 4 lung cancer, there's no way to go. So rip.
No, it's awful. Rip that man. Christopher Plummer, we both saw him in Knives Out this past couple of years. He was very good in that. Yeah. So, yeah. Rest in peace, both of those.
A lot of people died this week. There were a few other ones that...
Yes.
An older woman, she did a voice of something. I can't remember what it was. Slipping my mind right now, but she was a pretty big deal, too.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple. I didn't want to get into too many because we got a packed show today. But yeah, bunch of celebrities died this week. But a bunch of celebrities also got some Golden Globe nominations. Grammy nominations, I'm assuming as well. But we'll talk about Golden Globes this week. Bunch of snubs. Bunch of typical Golden Globe shenanigans went on this week. I just want to say, first off, right off the bat, I understand a lot of this is bullshit. It's a lot of circle jerking bullshit. Rich, famous white people giving themselves a pat on the back isn't that great, but it's still something. It's what we're about here on Can I Say Something? So we'll dig into it a little bit here. Any major surprises, major snubs that you noticed right off the bat?
Shit, I meant to have the list up.
I know one for you.
Well, what was it?
One for you would be Mr. Delroy Lindo.
Oh yeah, Delroy Lindo.
No nomination for him.
That was a snub. The Five Bloods itself wasn't even on there. That's a big deal.
All right.
Need more of that.
Major snub there.
Snubs wise, I say for the show, Queen's Gambit should have been nominated for more. Maybe that's my bias showing, but
yes.
Even who was the lead for that? I forget. What's her name?
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah. She should have gotten something more for that. I thought her acting in that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she did a lot of that facial stuff that we were talking about, where it's just, her eyes can be screaming at times, and
yeah.
Let's see what else.
So Anya Taylor-Joy was nominated for Best Performance by an Actress in a Limited Series, so she actually did get in there.
Oh yeah. Oh well, okay. Maybe the show itself. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think the show itself was even nominated for anything.
No.
That's what I want to see. Other stuff that I liked seeing is Palm Springs getting some serious rub. I think it was up for 3 things.
Yeah.
Real
quick, just gotta before we get the letters, Queen's Gambit was nominated for Best Limited Series. So
all right, then maybe my thing wasn't updated. No, shoot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, so I take everything back. Everything. I'm sorry, everyone. Has this always been a thing where comedy and music are grouped together, or is it special for this year?
Yeah. Yeah, this is how the Golden Globes do it. The Golden Globes is a combination of the Oscars and the Emmys. They do TV and movies, so I think they're trying to differ whatever that word is from the Emmys and the Oscars. Yeah, that word. So they're trying different stuff. They do like limited series. They honor that. They highlight that. So they do, like you see the nominations here are specifically for like best performance by an actor in a motion picture, musical or comedy. So they try to the Golden Globes try to pull in different genres that the Oscars don't usually do, because if you notice, the Oscars are really, really bad at honoring musicals or bad at honoring horror movies and comedies specifically. So I think they try to go out of their way to nominate things like that.
Well, I mean, out of their way to a point. I mean, you're still combining 2 genres of movies that aren't necessarily like ever related, musical and comedy.
No.
Well, why not just have it separate, And then you can even nominate more musicals and more comedies.
Yeah. I'm sure they're also thinking about it in terms of the length of the show. Adding more categories is going to add more minutes to the show, and these are always award shows. Award shows are always notorious for running long, so I'm assuming it's part of that too.
Well, I was thinking Andy Samberg. He's probably like, what? Nominated? No, I did not expect this. And then he sees that he's up against like Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda, and it's just like, fuck, I lost. Well, it's nice coming. I don't know. He's not gonna win with that guy in the category. So
yeah,
I don't know.
No nomination for Andy Samberg. No nomination for his co-star Christine Milioti, who I thought should definitely gotten in there.
No.
I specifically highlighted. Okay, Samberg did. Okay, so we're both we're both not up on the ball here, but Kristen Milioti did not get a nomination there. Yep. Even though I specifically highlighted her performance in our end of year roundup, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see.
A couple more.
I like the Mandalorian was in there.
Snubs.
Ozark deserves to be there. It's good to see that The Great was rep too, because me and Carrie just started watching that. So high hopes moving forward with that. So go ahead, all you.
Yep. Couple snubs I specifically wrote down here. No Carrie Coon. No Jude Law. No My Nest. Got in there. No, never really, sometimes maybe, noms. No Paul Raci for Sound of Music. No Elizabeth Moss or Invisible Man at all. No small acts. I don't believe any specific actors got in there. Again, I didn't go through this list, obviously, with a fine-tooth comb very well, so they might be in there somewhere. But Small Acts itself got a nomination for Best Limited Series. And one big one that a lot of people are talking about is no nominations for I Will Destroy You or the lead in that. I don't have her name pulled up here, but no nomination for that person. Yeah, unfortunate. A lot of snubs.
Yeah, well, I mean, personally, I'm not sad to see the Nest not ripped. Always, sometimes, rarely, or always, rarely, sometimes. You know what I'm saying.
Yes.
I wanted to see her in there for you, bud. Or even supporting
Appreciate
character, or her cousin. I think that would have been pretty awesome. But
yes, it would have been. Yep.
I don't know.
Some things people did sort of give them credit for, which is the first time three female directors are being highlighted here. Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman, Regina King for One Night in Miami, and Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. So that is a slight step forward in the right direction there.
That's cool.
Yeah. A couple things that I just saw recently. We got Vanessa Kirby in Pieces of Woman. Definitely deserve that. Big. This is going to be a big contest for me, or big whatever I want to be. Have a favorite pick in best performance by actress. It's going to be tough for me. I've seen almost all of these. Viola Davis, Vanessa Kirby, and Carey Mulligan. I've seen all their movies. So definitely curious to see who's going to win there. I highlighted Maria Bakalova when we talked about it during the best of 2020 in Borat 2. She was great in that. Anya Taylor-Joy was good in Emma, so that's interesting there. I think let's see, best performance by an actress in a supporting role. Let's see, you haven't seen any of these. I mean, you saw a little bit of Amanda Seyfried in Mank.
See, this is one of my problems with this.
Yes.
Is that I thought I was getting ahead of the curve here and checking movies that were favorited and things like that. And this time around, they just kind of came out and were like, "Nah, everything that you thought was going to happen, you're wrong. You're an idiot and you're wrong."
Yeah.
So, like all these people in these categories, it's like I have no idea.
Yeah,
I haven't watched these movies, and then another thing is that most of these movies haven't even come out yet. I think it's kind of bull, better way to put it.
They talked about this on The Big Picture of just like you got Kate Hudson in here for a movie called Music, and Sean Fennessy was like, Amanda, have you heard of Music? She's like, nope. This is the first time I have ever heard of this movie. And these are people in the industry. These are people that get screeners. These are people that it's their job to watch movies and be aware of movies that are coming out. And they're like, what is this? Yeah. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. And it's like this, I don't know. It feels like they want it to be this exclusive club, like all you get to, you hear on these like recaps of like podcasts and stuff like this, what just happened. And it's like, I saw this like a year ago. I think they were talking about,
they were.
What was it, Minari or something? Was it like a year ago? And is Minari even out right now? You can't stream it or anything, right?
So, no, I think Minari and Nomadland are coming out around the same time.
Yeah, these people were saying they had watched it a year ago.
Yeah,
it's like
well, they did.
Right. I get that they did, but like the general public, it's like this exclusivity kind of thing, and all we're just hanging on their words. Like some of these, maybe like 25% of these we've actually seen. But then it's just kind of like we're hanging on the words, like, oh, you think that person was a good actor? Oh, that movie hasn't even come out. I have no idea what you're talking about. That sounds great. And Golden Globes are what? 2 months away? 1 month?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
I don't understand this.
It's so with Minari specifically, I agree with you that it is a very like hoity-toity, nose in the air sort of deal. With Minari specifically, that was something that got caught up in the COVID stuff where it was shown at Sundance last year, and all intents and purposes, it was supposed to come out this year, barring any major catastrophe. Well, we had a major catastrophe, so that was unfortunately shelved for a long time. It was supposed to come out in theaters, and it's put out by A24. A24 is one of my favorite production companies, one of my favorite distribution companies, but unfortunately they're a smaller distribution company, so they pretty much bank on their movies being released in theaters to make any sort of profit on their investment whatsoever. So unfortunately, that the pandemic definitely killed the momentum for Minari overall.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's just my problem is it's just when movies they're talking about movies that you haven't seen, and I understand the pandemic happened. It's maybe it's just I don't think it's just me, but it's tough to take anything seriously. Tough to care about who actually wins this stuff, just because it was just a throwaway year or whatever. But I don't know. It was annoying me where it's like, oh sweet, I'm up to date. I'm catching up with all this stuff. I think I got it, and then it's like, no,
you did. You saw a lot of stuff.
I did. I seen a lot of stuff, and it's very discouraging that most of the stuff is not repped.
I understand, but I was going to say you're not behind the curve as far as like most people. I think most people haven't seen these movies, so don't feel bad for that. But I'm going to say real quick, Minari is supposed to be released February 12th, so it's probably going to be one of those premium VOD things. And same with Nomadland, that's coming out on the 19th. So I will give you $20 to watch those, which I did for Promising One Woman, and you you slap back, you clap back, and you said, "I will not watch that movie.
I won't watch that movie even with your $20."
So, I mean, you're over here ranting and raving about not having access. Well, you do right there with my money. So, anyways, let's couple closing thoughts.
That's one
on
movie.
this.
That's
Riz
one
Ahmed,
movie.
Huh?
That's just one movie. If you want to be the savior for everything, you got to go and give me like another $100 to get the rest of them.
Yep. Riz Ahmed, I want to see win Best Actor, Best Actor, Oscar and Golden Globe. Yep, that's my guy.
Speaking into existence.
Sacha Baron Cohen probably should get in there for Borat movie. Emerald Fennell, great movie she made with The Promising Woman. So yeah, I do have some favorites in there. We got Trent Reznor twice in there for Mank and Soul. I mentioned him on the Best of Year podcast as being some of my favorite music of last year. So good chance of him winning because he's nominated twice for Best Original Score. So yeah, good. I'm definitely looking forward to the Golden Globes.
I want to see Leslie Odom get something for One Night in Miami. Sam Cooke was pretty good character.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, he's got to go up against Jared Leto.
So, yeah.
It's going to be a tough fight. Tough, man.
Yeah. I haven't seen the movie. You did.
I did.
What do you think his chances are?
Hey,
what do you think his chances are of winning?
Hey, he's on there, and I heard again that he was nominated for something else, some kind of other award that's coming out, and it's throwing people for a loop. Hey, I'm not saying that his performance was bad. Honestly, I think people are being a little bit of babies about it. I thought his character was interesting. For all of the faults that people say that had the little things had, it wasn't acting. That's for sure. So
okay.
Well, I mean, he's going up against, like I said, Leslie Odom, and I don't think that he should beat that person. So
okay, yeah. So you're taking Jared Leto. I'm going to go ahead and say
no. I'm taking
Odom. I haven't seen Trial of Chicago 7. Huh?
I'm taking Odom.
Oh, you're taking Odom. Okay, but you're saying you have sympathy for Jared Leto.
I'm just
wasn't as.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting a bad rap here, especially when there's like movies on here that, like Daniel, I can't say his name, Kaluuya. Like Judas and the Black Messiah hasn't even come out yet. I mean, it's coming out next week. Right. What the hell do we know? We haven't seen it, so.
Yeah, there you go, another one. So looking forward to that. So moving on, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff we both watched. Something we both watched, I finished The Good Place. That was the thing on my list of this year. I have a bunch of TV shows that I stopped the last season, put on pause the last season. Good Place was one of them. Fantastic show, one of my favorite shows of all time, one of my favorite limited series of all time. It's up there with Breaking Bad, Fleabag, I May Destroy You, all these shows that I have on here. One of my favorite shows of all time. I was looking for quotes from the show. One of the best quotes from the show from the last season was Micheal saying, "What matters isn't if people are good or bad. What matters is if they're trying to be better than they were yesterday." So yeah, that pretty much sums up the theme of the show. Fantastic show, fantastic writing, fantastic jokes. I love it. Love everything about it. Yeah. You started the show?
Oh, no, I finished it just like you did. I saw you put Good Place on there, and I was like, yeah, you know what? It's been a while. I've been meaning to go back to it, and I finally did because I saw you put it on there. And, yeah, man, I loved it. It's one of those shows, rare shows that you don't just watch and you're just kind of sitting there and you're like, yeah, that's funny. That's funny. You actually laugh.
Yeah.
Like, remember when they made the giraffe or whatever?
Yep.
And then Janet, who's this... I don't know what you call it. She's just like this omnipotent being. She's just talking about what she had to do to wrangle the giraffe, and it was just I was dying. It was hilarious. Yeah, that's great. The show is great. I love it's very snappy, very quick-witted. I was actually thinking because they're in the Good Place, what's supposed to be heaven, and they're not allowed to swear. So they do the what the fork, shut the front door, things like that. And it's like. I wonder how many times they actually slipped up and just actually said the right thing, and then everyone's like, I can see everyone on set being like, ooh. No, I really like The Good Place. Did
you, did you get more out of it than I did with the Blake Bortles?
Nick Foles I was meaning to bring that up. That there's so many Jaguars references that I wonder if you even had any idea what he was talking about half the time.
No. Nope. Nope.
Yeah, the Blake Bortles he was a quarterback. He's a great fantasy quarterback, but he's not a real great. Probably not even good. real life quarterback. I think he's a backup now for the Rams or something like that. But it's funny that he was just idolizing Blake Bortles the whole time, that character, Jason's character.
Yep.
And
yep.
She had to break the news to him at one point that Blake Bortles had been traded, and he was broken.
Yep. Yeah.
Then they got like Nick Foles, and he's like, woo! And then Nick Foles ends up sucking too. And it was a nice running joke, the dedication to the Jaguars. But
yeah, I love all the behind the scenes jokes. Like, there's so many, like, this is a show, like, if you go back and watch old movies like Airplane, they do this thing too, where there's so many, like, in the background jokes. There's like a joke in the foreground, there's a joke on the sides, and there's a joke in the background. There's so many jokes happening every second. You really do have to pay attention. There's one specifically in the last season where they have all of the restaurants in the background are puns, and one of them was like Joni loves tchotchkes, and it's a pun on this old show from the 70s. It was a spinoff of Happy Days called Joni Loves Tchotchke with Scott Baio. So it's just so many like deep cut references to jokes in the background. I love all that stuff.
Yeah. Even like the giraffe thing actually came up too, where
yeah,
it came out. You could see they were talking, and in the background you could just see the giraffe trotting around. And it was like, after I've heard what she had to do with the giraffe, and then you're watching it in the background, you're just like, that killed me twice. And it's just the jokes too, where it's like you had the Jason and the Blake Bortles thing. It's just like this running gag, and we know in real life. Well, I know in real life that he is no longer Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback. And then she has like break the news that he's not the quarterback. And then like even the judge, she was like saying how she liked these television shows and they get canceled, and she's like,
yeah.
And she has no idea. She's like, don't spoil anything. And everyone's like, walking on eggshells. So hilarious show. I encourage everyone to watch
it. Yep, absolutely. 2019, it was ranked as the 69th on the Guardian's list of 100 best shows of the 21st century. Nice. Yep. Great show. So I also checked out one of the most notorious, infamous movies on Netflix right now, Pieces of a Woman, directed by Cornell Mandroxio. I'll show you the hell of that. It stars Vincent Kirby, Shia LaBeouf, Molly Parker, Cher Snook, and Ellen Burstyn. It is based on a play. It's like Mind Ready's Black Bottom or One Night in Miami. A lot of movies based on plays this year. Let's see. So the film is based on a 2018 play of the same name, also by Weber and Munzrungo, which in turn was based on their own experience losing a child to unsuccessful pregnancy. This is really good. I really liked it a lot. It's unfortunately that it's so notorious for being known as that movie with that scene, that opening shot of her losing the kid in the very beginning of the movie. But it definitely takes a turn. It's not about like her grief and her processing her grief. It's actually like it's not to spoil anything, but it turns into like a legal drama and also a movie about like revenge and getting vindictiveness and stuff like that. So it's a really good movie overall. Shia LaBeouf is pretty good in this. I think he's somewhat of a bad person. I think he's done bad things in his in his life, but like you were saying before with Dustin Diamond, I think probably a troubled childhood, troubled adulthood. So I can't really blame him too much for that. But again, very good movie. If you want to see Shia LaBeouf's La Dong, check this one out. So, yep. La Dong, yep. We also watched White Tiger. This is a 2021 movie on Netflix, directed by Ramin Banerjee, stars Agnarsh Guvra in his first leading role, along with Rajkumar Rao and Priyanka Chopra. Got it.
Oh, she's
nailed
a babe,
it.
Dude. She is a babe. I love her intensity in this movie.
What did you think of White Tiger?
I thought it was great. Well, I say great. Yeah. I would say it was good. It entertained me. There are parts in it where it's just like the random. I won't say random, but just like for the tone of the movie at the point, and then it's just like he has like this daydreaming thing, and he's imagining like sudden violence, like brutal violence, and I was like, whoa, like
brutal. Yep.
And then you kind of get taken out of it, where it's kind of like, is this like a comedy-ish kind of thing? Like it tackles kind of a serious issue, but in a I don't know, I guess a humorous light. But then it's like snaps you back in with like how brutal that life can be, and I was entertained the whole time.
Yeah,
what'd you
very
think?
good movie. Really well acted.
I saw that you had just said it was like, what'd you say? It was a good movie, or you said it was a movie? I forget how you actually worded it.
It was. Yeah, I don't remember either.
You kind of went down this list.
I don't know.
You had one movie. You said that's a great movie. This was a good movie.
Good.
And I don't know.
Yeah,
it was a text. I'm sure
it
we
was.
can check it. But.
It was a movie. Yeah. So yeah, it was. This is like a rags to riches story, but instead of like Scarface, you don't see the rise and the fall. You only see the rise. So it's kind of hard to root for somebody when you don't see the consequences of their actions. You know what I mean? Like he does some pretty horrendous stuff in this movie to get where he's going, and it's hard to root for a guy like that. It's just also showing like, usually with rags to riches stories, you're not in rags. You're not in literal rags in the beginning. This guy is, his village and his life is he's just I forget what you call it, like very desolate, just nothing, like just sleeping on the floor, sleeping on the ground type of life. And so going from that to, the life that he gets into, and it's also this thing of the caste system where he's just saying, yes, master, yes, sir, master, or whatever. And it's just jarring cultural, I don't know, what do you call that? Observation, just seeing this side of the world, seeing the side of subservitude that you don't ever really get to see before. Of just, you're kind of used to seeing indentured servitude, you're used to seeing slavery, where it's just, the person is sort of just, they're the slave or they're the indentured servant. They have that relationship where the person isn't really calling them master or sir or whatever, and they're not bowing, they're not kissing the person's feet, in the America version of that, but in India, it's just the guy's just groveling constantly. They're not letting him sit on the table or sitting on the couch with him. They're just completely, subservient to the people he's serving. It's just a very visceral and sort of jarring look at life like that. Yeah. So, yeah.
Although, you're looking at it too, and like you mentioned the caste system, but honestly, how different is it from America, where it's just like they were greasing the politicians' pockets and things like that, and it's just outright corruption all the way around. Yeah. And while certain people are masquerading with a what would you call it? I don't know, just kind of like making it. They seem like this perfect figure, and then it's just like you just see these scenes where it's like, oh, wow, you're actually kind of a douche too. The corruption runs all the way to the top. I don't think it matters where you are. It's a cutthroat world. I like the fact that you were saying how you didn't like that that you didn't see the consequences of his actions, but honestly, I think that when he had to make that decision, I'm sure you know what decision I'm talking about.
Yes,
that was kind of like that. I didn't think there really needed to be a consequence there, because the consequence was kind of implied. Like he did suffer from his decisions in the movie On the Rise. So, but then he just learned how to play the game, and maybe the idea is, there were no consequences. I mean, in that country, maybe that's just that's his life now. So, yeah,
really good. Definitely glad I watched that. Next up, moving on, I got a movie called Another Round. It was directed by Thomas.
That's the one you said was great.
This is the one I said was great. Yeah, I cited White Tiger. I don't know if you have the text pulled up. What did I say? That the White Tiger was good? You
said White Tiger was good. Yep.
Okay. And Another Round was great. Good. Yeah.
And you said this one was great. And you watched another one that you're like, that was fine.
So Another Round, directed by Thomas Vinterberg. He directed a movie called The Hunt, which is very good, with Mad Micheal in it. Far from the Madding Crowd. From a screenplay by Vinterberg and Tobias Lindholm, stars Mad Mikkelsen, Thomas Bo Larsen, Magnus Milgren, and Lars Ranthe.
Real quick, I found it.
This is a movie. Yeah, found it.
White Tiger was aight. Pieces of a Woman was good. Another Round is great. So it sounded like you didn't actually like White Tiger.
Okay. Yeah, it was all right.
When you said it was aight.
Fine.
It was aight.
It was aight.
All right,
but
continue.
Another Round, Another Round was great. This is a movie about
drinking.
Four professors drinking. Yep. They come upon a theory that or experiment that says that
the drunker they get, the more attractive she is.
Exactly. That people function better on a little bit of alcohol, like 0.05% of alcohol in their system makes a person function better. So they go down that road of exploring. They do this scientific experiment where they drink during the day, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. They have a little bit. They have breathalyzers, and they test their blood level to keep it steady, and it goes well for a little while, but then it sort of doesn't. So it is very 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 well acted, very well. Script is great, great movie called Another Round.
There is a sweet spot, where your confidence is flowing. You feel like you're in peak physical condition. Like I got a thing where it's like, 2 beers, 3 beers, I'm feeling good. But if I go past that point, there's like a point of no return. And it's usually beyond that. But the 2 to 3 beers for me is that sweet spot. I'm loose. I'm saying things coherent. I'm making people laugh. You challenge me to a physical contest, and there's a there's a 90% chance I come out on top. So yeah, I agree with these guys. I don't know how far they took it, but I like the idea that they're presenting.
Yeah, a little bit too far, but yeah.
Of course, otherwise it wouldn't be much of a movie.
Yeah, no. So moving on, so another movie called The Assistant. These are a bunch of movies that I saw were on lists of like the most underrated or most under talked about movies of last couple of years. So The Assistant from 2019 is an American drama film written, directed, produced, and edited by Australian filmmaker Kitty Green. Stars Julia Garner from Ozarks. Matthew McFadden is from Succession. Mackenzie Lee, Kristen Forths, John Orson. Even the American names in these fucking movies are hard to say. And Noah Robbins. So this is a movie about like an assistant intern person working for a production company, and she's working for a. You never actually meet the guy. You never meet the executive, but he's rumored to be a what's the Miramax guy's name? Bob. Not Bob. What's the Miramax executive that was all? Miramax.
I'll get it. You keep talking.
Executive. Okay. So he's that type of guy. Very rumored to be, sexually assaulting women on the daily. She's hearing things. She doesn't see anything. She doesn't. Huh?
Bob Weinstein?
Bob Weinstein, yeah. Or his brother.
Harvey.
Bob Weinstein? What was the other guy's name? Harvey Weinstein type guy. So there is this guy that they never even show in this movie, sort of like the shark in Jaws. It's sort of scarier to imagine what he looks like. But it's one of those sort of Me Too movies where she sort of sees things, she hears rumors about things, sort of approaches the HR type person. Matthew McFadden plays him, and sort of she has issues, and she has theories about what might be happening, and she's saying like, he picked up this girl from the airport, and she's really young, and she doesn't really have any skills. She's just a waitress, and she hasn't been in acting school, so she was like, I don't know why she's here, just having these vague sort of like feelings about these women, and she's like, I people say things that happen and sort of allude to things, and it's a very, very interesting movie where it's just like if you're in that position of something bad is happening on the reg and you're there and you feel like you have to do something about it, but you don't have the evidence to back it up. So very, very interesting movie in the Me Too era. So you can probably skip it. I don't know if it's not your thing, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. And then one of the last movies I saw was called Synchronic, with Anthony Mackie, that isn't Outside the Wire. This is a sci-fi movie with Anthony Mackie that is not Outside the Wire. Directed and produced by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. Stars Jamie Dornan from the Shades of Grey movies.
Are you saying Katie not Allison Outside the Wire for me?
What's that? Yes, basically, yeah. Because he's in 2 sci-fi movies that take place vaguely in the future, and this is one of them. So yeah, I have a picture here of Jamie Dornan, and he looks like a smaller version of Henry Cavill. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose so. I can see it, I guess.
Yeah.
And in that picture, I see it. You're right.
Yeah. So this is a movie about two EMT workers who come across a pattern of people who are dying from a undisclosed new drug on the market called Synchronic.
Called the vaccine.
And called the vaccine, yeah. A bunch of people acting autistic, and they're like, what is going on? Oh, it's the vaccine. No. These people are, they have, this one woman has an injury. She has a snake bite, and the person that was on the scene already, they asked him what kind of snake was, and the guy was like, well, based on the bite marks, it's
trouser snake.
Seems to be, huh?
Nothing.
Okay. It's this snake that was from this area. They're in the New Orleans area. So he's like, yeah, it was a snake that's been around in this area, but not for like 200 years. It disappeared 200 years ago. And they find this other person who was like burned to death, and like human combusted. And they find this like old doubloon from like the 1750s, from like the Spanish conquistador era. And what's his name? Anthony Mackie finds the drug in a pot shop, and he buys all of them, and he takes one, and he realizes that it sends him back in time for 7 minutes. And then his buddy that he works with, Jamie Dornan's daughter, apparently takes it, but gets trapped back in time. So he has to spend the rest of the movie tracking her down, going back in time and trying to track her down. So very, very interesting little movie called Synchronic.
Called Terminator.
That's on, on Amazon Prime rental stuff thing. And the last thing I'm checking out, finally catching up with Killing Eve. This is Killing Eve season 3. Stars Sandra Oh, Jodie Comer, Fiona Shaw. This was written by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who I like very much. She's a great writer, great actress. She did Fleabag. She was the head writer for the first season, and Emerald Fennell from Promising Young Woman wrote the second series. Are you familiar with Killing Eve at all?
I've heard of it, but I never watched anything.
So based on the picture that I have here, what do you think the series is about? Good guess.
Lesbians in a casino.
So I just have a picture here of Sandra Oh and Jodie Comer hugging in seems like a hotel or a casino. So this Killing Eve is a TV show it's based on a series of books. Let me see.
Oh, wait, she knows like kung fu, right, and stuff?
Huh?
Does she know like kung fu and stuff? She like Neo?
Possibly. That's possible. So they're based on a series of books called the Villanelle books. So this TV show is about Sandra Oh is a detective tracking down an assassin, and the assassin is played by Jodie Comer, and they fall in love. In the pursuit of finding each other.
Points.
Yeah.
I get points for that.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, very, very amazing show. Really well. It's very, very stylish. Cinematography is very stylish, and I love the music. So definitely check that out. It's one of those BBC series that are 4, 5, 6 episodes per season, so it's easy to binge that shit real quick. Yep, that's all. Okay.
That was your 10 minutes.
Oh wow! I hit that right on the noggin.
How about that? Huh? Good for you.
Nice. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. So let's get into WandaVision, episode 5. Your regularly scheduled programming, yes. Yep.
Okay.
So
all right,
that's episode
up.
5.
Hold up.
Yes.
Everyone listening, this is full spoilers. There's no way that we can talk about this vaguely. It's full spoilers. No. So if you don't like that, Jon Snow, I don't want it, then, fast forward 10 minutes.
Yeah. So, Evan fucking Peters,
just coming right out of the gate, Jesus.
In this fucking show. Yeah. That is it.
Who dat?
That's what everybody's talking about. But this fucking show, man. Crazy. They're doing it. They're doing the fucking thing. The Mad Lad did the thing. Holy shit. When I saw that, I literally yelled out, what the fuck? I was watching this like 8 a.m. and I didn't give a fuck. I was like, holy shit, it's that guy. It's him.
It's the $71.3 billion cameo.
Yeah.
That's exactly the amount of money it took to buy Fox production.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, I mean, this is the first of many The first of many cameos I'm assuming they're going to have in this show. But yeah, this is the first mutant in the MCU because he is that. He's an X-Man, technically, from the Days of Future Past, I believe was the first movie he was in. He was also in the Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix. I didn't see Dark Phoenix, but I'm assuming he was in that as well.
Were you aware they couldn't say mutant?
Yes, they couldn't say mutant. They also couldn't say sword up until now. Okay. Sword was also a property of Fox.
That's crazy.
Fox deal. Yep. So yeah, let me start out with this by saying that her whole emotional arc. I think you can understand it more. She has telepathy and telekinesis, all that stuff. In the what was it? Harry Dresden books, they call people like this empaths. So they have amplified feelings of empathy for other people, and I believe that is what's causing her amplified feelings of grief in this case. So there's that. So yeah, let's get into this episode. You have, I should have a whole outline of it, but I don't. Let me look it up real quick. What was your feelings? General feelings at episode 5 of WandaVision.
Dude, I love this episode. I love this show.
Yes.
I love the intro, man. The growing pains thing,
yep.
Like with the intro, the theme song that they had, because they get like a one going for each kind of era of television they're hitting. It's like, show me that smile again. Don't waste another minute on your crying. You know, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Awesome. With the whole cliche thing where they're like going through the baby pictures and they're growing up and you can see baby vision, which is crazy because you just saw dead vision last week in a. But just the aging and the Roseanne, the growing pains, the things like that, just a great touch. And something's going on, man. Those kids, I want to see what happens with these kids. It's just and what's her face?
Agnes,
yeah. Like I don't trust. I don't trust her.
No,
something funky with her.
What did she put?
She seems to want these kids a little bit older. It's lavender, dude. It's just lavender.
Yeah. So this is the time period is now the 80s. Wanda and Vision are trying to stop the kids from crying. Agnes comes over, sees the couple, and tries to help them out before awkwardly missing her cue, which she's like, "Should I take that again?" And then Vision's like, "What the fuck?"
No, she didn't miss her cue. Vision, he interrupted. He's like, "No, that's no need. There's no need for that." And then she was kind of like, that's not in the script," kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's why she.
And then the twins stop crying, but then they age up to age 5 into 5-year-olds.
Right.
But Agnes does not seem bothered by that, which is weird. So that's my thing is like she's probably trying to age them up. Like we'll talk about this later, but she does a thing later which she thinks is going to cause them trauma to try to age them up. Right? She might have done that thing.
It's speculated.
Speculating, yeah.
I didn't catch that.
So back
at
Sword,
you look back on all her interactions, it's kind of like, oh, possibly.
Yeah. So Monica recuperates and informs the superiors about what she has learned. Hayward takes Wanda as a threat. So Hayward wants to stop her, and obviously Monica and the other two, Wu and Darcy, don't agree with that. Monica learns that her clothes are bulletproof. So awesome. We learn that Wanda is not just pulling things out of thin air. She's not making things out of thin air. She's reanimating and recontextualizing materials that come into the world into whatever she wants them to be, right?
Well, with the resources that she has. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So let's see. Wanda Howard shows footage of Wanda breaking into a secure facility and taking Vision's corpse. You had me listen to, and I thank you for it, the podcast from Vanity Fair, and they break this down. And I was listening to the episode 4 podcast where they talk about some theories, and the guy was like, they would never do the corpse. They're not going to take his corpse. That's really dark for a Disney show and for a Marvel show. Guess what, buddy? You are wrong about that.
Yeah, I remember saying it kind of in jest 2 episodes ago. It's like, is she getting down and dirty with corpse? Because it was kind of like your Vision's dead. So and the idea that she's pulling people and making people be certain things, like who was being Vision? And it's just like, did she have Vision's body? And then you find out she does have Vision's body, and it's just gnarly. man. The idea of that, because these are all people, and Vision has to be something. So I imagine the closest thing would be his reanimated corpse.
Yeah. Going off that real quick, they some theories on Reddit is that Wanda learned that Sword was experimenting with Vision's body. So she might have broken in there, grabbed his body on herself by her own free will, but on the way to do something with it, bury it maybe, she might get stopped by Agnes or by Mephisto. People were saying they speculated on the podcast, on that Vanity Fair podcast, that the bad guy might be somebody called Nightmare, which I had never heard of. But my running theory right now is that she wasn't manipulated to go in there to get his body. She went there, normally, and then as she's leaving, she got taken over, manipulated there from that point on.
I still can't believe that they were dissecting Vision's body. Like, where the hell were the other Avengers on that?
So, like I was saying last week about the timeline, it's a very compressed timeline. If you think about the end of Infinity War, well, that's not really compressed. The end of Infinity War happened, everyone dies, and I think probably in the chaos of everyone being dusted, I don't know. I think maybe. Yeah, I don't know. His body disappeared.
Because Endgame still happened, and that was like 5 years later. How did they not like?
How did
they just? Well, I don't freaking know. I don't. Did he get dusted? Did he turn into dust? Was he one of the people?
No. He's not. He's not a person, so he would not have got dusted. I think he was killed already by Thanos, so he had no reason to dust him. Also, somebody could have grabbed his body because when Wanda gets dusted, she's holding Vision's body, and I don't think anybody was even near that event. Like, cause she was there by herself. Everyone got taken out, and then Thanos comes over, tries to grab Thanos or Vision before Wanda kills him. She holds him off, but then he does the thing anyway. I don't think anyone was around to even see that happening. So I don't know if anyone even knew where Vision's body was or even what happened. So. Anyways, moving on into this episode, in Westview, but Billy and Tommy find a dog named Sparky. After Wanda and Vision inform them that they have to be 10 years old in order to take care of the dog, Billy and Tommy age themselves up again, with Agnes once again being indifferent to their actions. While at work, Vision gets a message from Sword and uses his powers to awaken Norm, who does not know how he got there and asks for help. So this is the part where Vision really starts putting the pieces together as far as what's going on in this world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. While talking to the boys, Wanda spots the drone and destroys it. So they send in, Sword sends in a drone piloted by Wanda, or powered by Maria. And I got to think that maybe she was trying to communicate with Wanda, but I'm wondering if Sword and Hayward just disabled any sort of communication from the drone. Like, it didn't seem like Wanda was even hearing her, right?
Well, Wanda has a tendency to go into like a trance mode. So it's possible she did, and she was just too pissed off. Like, once she saw the drone, she was probably just in like attack mode or defense mode. It's possible that she couldn't hear either, that they were messing with the controls.
Yeah, one of the best moments of the show so far was Wanda destroying the drone, coming out of the bubble, engaging with Hayward and the rest of the Sword people there, and Monica's there, and it's this whole standoff with them. Wanda's like, is this yours? And she throws the drone on the floor, and she forces everyone to draw their guns on Hayward.
Hey, now, Wanda. Yeah. Take it easy. We're just all having fun. We're all having fun here. I like your show. Your show's great.
Yep.
Great time slot.
Yep. Let me see. I have some notes here. I wasn't even looking at them, but
I like that part where they're like, I was like, I don't like saying bad things about anybody, but and Darcy was like, I'll do it for you. He's a real. And she tried to say dick, and then it comes back to him and says terrorist.
Yep.
That was intentional. Everything they do in this show is intentional. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, there's no fat on the show. Like obviously the X-ray of Maria is going to have some sort of consequence there. She's definitely she's in the comics, like we said before, as being what was her name in the comics? It was her mom's nickname too. Forgot what it was called, but anyways. So going off some of my notes here, huh?
Are you talking about Rambo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forgot what her nickname was.
Is her aunt Captain Marvel?
No, Rambo. Monica Rambo
was
no
her mom like friends with Captain Marvel?
Yeah, if you go back and watch Captain Marvel, she's in that movie.
Okay, I
her
never
mom
watched Captain
was
Marvel.
Maria. Yeah,
there seemed like there was some beef there with when they said Scarlet Witch could have beaten Thanos, and someone said, "Oh, Captain Marvel could have too," and then she was just kind of like, huh.
Yeah. So I think what it is that Captain Marvel left the Earth, and I think she probably has some resentment there because she probably thinks of her as abandoning her and her mother in their time of need.
Yeah. I like how they have to come up with these like crazy situations for all the uber powered superheroes to be out of place. Like,
yeah,
because they're saying now they're admitting that Scarlet Witch could have killed Thanos, Captain Marvel could have killed Thanos, and it's just like Captain Marvel came from space during the battle. Like if she had come at any other point, Thanos probably could have been toast. In Infinity War, when Scarlet Witch was working on Vision's head, what was she doing? I don't know. I remember Michonne was like, why was she in there? You know, like they do a great job of keeping people out of the way.
Yeah.
Even in Civil War when Hulk and Thor were off doing their own thing too. Like these are all uber-powered superheroes.
Yep. Yeah, they were talking about that on the show, on the Vanity Fair podcast, about how this show, WandaVision, is probably going to be a reason that Wanda's going to be depowered, whether she does it herself or somebody else does it for her, or just give her some reason to not be around for other adventures like the Spider-Man movie or the Captain
Doctor Strange.
Falcon. No, she's going to be in that. Scarlet Witch might be the villain in Doctor Strange. Like if the show ends with her being super powerful and having to be taken down by Doctor Strange, that's one thing. Or they could. Huh?
I would love that so much because everybody hangs on the whole House M thing where like Wanda's like destroy all mutants and she's the most powerful thing. I really want to see Doctor Strange because Doctor Strange could kick Wanda's ass at full power.
Well, that's the thing. Could he though?
He could. 100% could. With all his toys and the stone.
Debatable.
I don't think he has anymore.
Debatable.
But the eye of that thing, he could beat Scarlet Witch, and I want that to happen just so people are like, all right, fine, Wanda can be defeated at some point. God.
Yes, yeah. So some of the theories, some of the big takeaways from this episode that people keep noticing is that Agnes is the only person on the FBI wall of persons of interest that doesn't have a driver's license tied with them. So that's a thing.
Suspicious.
She seems very, very suspicious. So yeah, we've been talking about how she's concerned with Wanda's kids growing as quickly as possible. Let's see. So yeah, in the rest of the episode, Vision figures out what's going on. Vision, while talking to the boys, Wanda spots the drone, destroys it, leaving the bubble. Commercial break is for a band of paper towels called Lagos, which is where Wanda had that oopsie doopsie and killed a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm. For cleaning up messes you didn't mean to do.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Those commercials are great.
I got it. Yep. So moving forward with the episode, Sparky, the dog, who had run away earlier, is found by Agnes and apparently died choking on her azaleas, which is not a thing. I didn't know that's a thing. I didn't know dogs could die eating certain.
Come on,
plants.
Okay. I was trying to find ways. Our cat was sick. I was trying to find ways to get our cat to eat pills, and I'm looking through all the human foods that animals can eat, and you know how many that it just wreaks havoc on their digestive tract. Like
most of them,
it is insane how many plants will kill a dog.
Okay, all right. In this specific scenario, it's possible that Agnes did something to the dog to traumatize the kids to get them to grow up faster. For whatever reason, she's grooming them for some reason, obviously. Let's see. The twins demand that Wanda bring them back to life, but she claims that she cannot. Later that night, Wanda and Vision talk, where their latter informs her that he is well aware that she has control of Westview. So this is a very intense moment in the show, probably the most intense moment in the show so far. They both fly up into the air like warring vampires. Wanda attempts to cut credits. That was interesting. I love that moment in the show.
Awesome.
But Vision angrily demands answers as to what is happening.
You know what's funny? Real quick. At that point, there was still like 12 minutes left in the episode. And I know people have been clamoring about how the 9-minute credits, like, it's just like, come on, is that really necessary? And the fact that it was like at 12 minutes where they started to try to roll credits, I just felt like a collective audience was like, what the
Yeah.
9 was enough. Now you're going to do 12? How are you going to do me like that? I love that he's just like, no, we'll talk about this now.
Yep. The doorbell rings. Wanda, this is interesting. Wanda claims that she is not doing this. So if she isn't doing it, then who is?
$1 million question, man.
Yeah. As she answers the door, she discovers it is her brother Pietro, but not Peter. It is not Pietro. It is Peter. Peter from X-Men Days of Future Past, played by a different actor. Darcy, watching from the base, is confused by the recast, quote unquote recast. Going back, there's some things that summary didn't mention. Monica contacts a aerospace engineer, but it's never revealed to who it could be. The major consensus is that it could be Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four. That's a possibility. Another one that they discussed is Ironheart, Riri Williams, who is a pretty much brand new character they introduced into the comics in 2014, 2015, as a sort of apprentice to Tony Stark. She takes up the mantle of Iron Man for a while in the comics, very recently. So that's a possibility. Any other possibilities that people haven't talked about, or anything else you might have in mind in the universe?
I mean, what was the exact position that she said she was in contact with?
Aerospace engineer.
All right. I don't know. Dr. Doom.
What
was Jane Foster?
Dr. Doom, yeah. Huh?
What was Jane Foster?
Jane Foster was a astrophysicist.
Okay. Yeah. I assume Darcy would know if that was...
People, she would know. People in the MCU that could be aerospace engineers. You have Shuri. She's very smart. She could be that.
Oh, I could absolutely.
You have Bruce Banner. Be interesting to see because Monica got dusted. She wasn't there to see Smart Hulk, so it'd be interesting for her to call up Bruce and be like, "Come over, man. Let's have a coffee." And he shows up and he's like, "What the fuck happened to you?" A couple possibilities there.
I think it's going to introduce somebody else, somebody new though. I think they're using WandaVision as kind of like this foundation for the next stage of what they're about to do, and it's going to be crazy. All the stuff that can be traced back to this show. Yeah.
All the doors that are opening, all of the new characters, all the new branches that they're bringing in. They're introducing the multiverse. Like literally, this is what that is. They're introducing the concept of the multiverse in this show, and it's gonna be interesting to see. Like near the end, is she gonna go like, "Where's Spider-Man?" And then she like conjures Spider-Man. She's like, "Fucking did it again! God damn it! Who is this guy? Who are you? Sorry, I was looking for Peter Parker. Who the fuck are you?" And he's like, "I'm Peter Parker," and it's Topher Grace or Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, one of them. Yeah. One more thing, one more theory is that the hex could expand to encompass S.W.O.R.D's pop-up control center, and it becomes an office-style sitcom about the inner workings of S.W.O.R.D. This is a theory that they brought up on the Vanity Fair podcast, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought it was funny too. And it ends with the idea that Jim from The Office is going to be Reed Richards, which would tie in perfectly. And they should just have him like do like that thing where he just looks at the camera like, and that would just bring it all the way home. That's too perfect to actually happen, I believe.
And then, of course, you have to do the thing where Jimmy Woo is like, "You look familiar." Yeah.
Fake Jim. Asian Jim.
Asian Jim, yeah.
Wait, Jim was Asian this whole time? Jim's Asian? Always has been.
Always has been. Yeah, bring it all around. Make a full circle. Bring in all the memes.
It's too perfect.
Bring in all of it. Yeah. One more thing. The thing that they don't replicate in WandaVision, they talk about, this being a replication or a parody of sitcoms. They don't have any catchphrases. No catchphrases in this show, I felt like was missing from all of these episodes,
What you want them to say? It's just been revoked. Something like that.
Something like that. I don't know.
I saw people were up in arms that Quicksilver didn't say his thing.
Oh yeah.
What'd he say? Like, thought you missed me or something? Yeah, I didn't see that coming. And then a lot of people were jumping to the plate about it, like, hey, he didn't say that. That character didn't say that, so that's why he didn't say it. And that's what a lot of this, like people were like, oh, was he recast, or are they opening up the multiverse, or what? And that's one of the building blocks on that Quicksilver being from the multiverse, because he didn't say that line. Gotcha.
Yep. Crazy. One of the best things going right now, and I love being part of it. This is one of the few things, or one of the first things I've been part of. I've never watched, Lost, and I didn't watch Lost when it was on. I didn't watch any of these big shows when it was on. So being part of the zeitgeist, being part of the conversation is very, very fun for me.
Now I got a question for you.
Yeah.
You see, Mandalorian got a nom for the Golden Globes.
Yes.
Could you see something like WandaVision getting it, or do you just think that's something that these people couldn't appreciate?
I'm wondering if just, first thought is probably it's not in the time frame. I know you were talking about like the qualifications for stuff being nominated.
No, I mean even next year. Say next year.
Oh, next year, yeah.
I'm just saying, do you think it could ever get some rub for it?
Oh, it will. I mean, if Mandalorian is in there, you got to have WandaVision in there. Yeah.
It's just Star Wars. I know MCU is huge, but Star Wars has been around forever, and I don't know. I feel like a lot of superhero stuff, while it seems like every actor has to, dip their toe in the superhero pool at some point, it's just one of those things that's kind of like, that's a superhero movie, so I don't really know what you want me to do here. And it's just, I think one of the biggest problems is with these Golden Globes, and I understand you're doing this on merit of the show and everything, but if you don't actually appreciate it, then you don't understand, like us, we're sitting here gushing about it, and the subtle nods, and there's a ton of stuff that, like how they can tie it all together so seamlessly and have it make sense. Like that's just something I feel is like would be overlooked, and kind of it's because it's a superhero thing. The intricacies of it would be lost on all these people. And I think that's kind of weak, in my opinion.
Yeah, very weak. I can't wait to see if that will be nominated. So do you want to move on to your stuff real quick?
Yeah, sure. I'll tell you what I watched. I'll go quick about it.
Sure.
Let's see. I watched the Royal Rumble wrestling.
All right. Yes. Yep.
They're still not learning from like all the stuff they've ever done. There's the outright refusal to create new stars. Edge, remember Edge from like 1999? Yeah, he won the Royal Rumble. He's going on to fight at WrestleMania in the main event. So it's just Edge is fine. He didn't need the win though. So I don't know. It just I don't know why they're just so adamant against creating new stars and building off that. I watched Kong Skull Island.
Yeah, you did.
And that movie slaps, dude. That's a great movie.
Yeah,
that
dude.
blew Godzilla out of the water. That gave me what I want. What I was saying about Godzilla not giving me the fights when I'm seeing these battles with the humans. Trying to get from point A to point B. Don't do that. Let me see these Titans fight it out. And that happened in Kong, where he was fighting. Yeah. He was in the SWAT fest with the helicopters. It was so much Kong, and it was great. And he's fighting those dinosaurs. And I now, having watched that, see the value of an opposable thumb. And
there you go.
I feel like those memes are a little unwarranted. I understand that he's just a monkey, but there was one point where Kong ripped up a gigantic tree in one, he just put his hand on it and tore off all the branches that were attached to that tree, just slid his hand right up the tree. All the branches come flying off, picks the thing up like a baseball bat and clobbers this monster with it. Like,
the
value of a opposable thumb cannot be understated. And while I gave Godzilla the KO of the night, I think I'm going to give it to King Kong in this one. The way that he finished that monster was insane. Insane. And he did it while protecting Jane, or whatever her name is. I don't remember. But incredible. And I also want to point out that the Monsterverse is the MCU. 100%.
Yes.
Do you know how many superheroes were in this movie?
Many. I have it right here. Brie Larson, Tom Hiddleston, Sam Jackson. Yeah.
It was crazy. There were more than that. I think there was another, or at least people that were in these Marvel movies. And like I said, in Godzilla, they had Quicksilver, they had Scarlet Witch. It really is just MCU. Monsterverse, they're the same freaking thing. What else did I watch? I watched half of Mank. That movie's not for me. And also, I remember saying that, what was the movie that Mank's based off of?
The Citizen Kane, the most famous movie of all time.
Okay. Yeah. I started watching that, and I have it on HBO Max, and I noticed I never finished it. Yeah. And it's the same exact thing with Mank. I think I was like interested, and then I was quickly not interested. And that's one of the problems with Mank is that I was never engaged with it. It felt like to me the movie was drifting along while it was dragging me along, So I don't think I'm going to go back and finish that. I'm sorry. I know you.
Here's the thing about hitting the ripcord on certain things. You said you watched half of it. Did you watch literally half of it?
I think so.
Okay, so like I can understand pulling the ripcord at 10 minutes, 20 minutes, even 30 minutes, 40 minutes, sure. But when you're halfway, just go the rest of the way. Like you've invested an hour of your life into the thing. You might as well just finish it. You know what I'm saying?
It's sunk cost, and then I got to build myself up to going back and sitting there. And I have to work myself up to sit down and watch the rest of the movie. And there's just so much other stuff that I'd rather be watching right now.
I know. But you said you watched half of Mank and half of Citizen Kane. You watched the whole movie, just not one movie.
Well, I mean, I feel like I watched the movie that was talking about the other movie. So it's basically I watched both of the movies.
Sure.
So maybe one day. But listen, I'm not going to make promises because I still haven't gone back and watched Citizen Kane. So
right, that's fine. It's fine.
It is.
It's your life.
And let's see. So looking at the Golden Globes, specifically the television series, I said to you before that while you want me to watch movies, I find my real interest is in television series. Queen's Gambit. I watched The Crown. Mandalorian was phenomenal. Ozarks. Now, the thing with this, the best television series up for nominations, you had The Crown, you had Mandalorian, Ozark. There's another show on there called Ratched. I don't even know what that is. I've never heard of it. But one that I had been meaning to check out is Lovecraft Country.
Okay.
And I've watched probably 4.5 episodes already. It's pretty awesome. Okay. The acting in it is great. I'm not saying that it's got its finger on the pulse right now, but racism is a pretty huge deal. But at the same time, it's got this, I would say paranormal element. I say most of the show is based off of just wild supernatural stuff. And it's crazy to see because the main cast, they're all black. And they've had run-ins with white people who, they're shooting at them. They're trying to beat their ass all the time. They got to deal with that. But then like this also adds like this supernatural element, has monsters in there that are trying to kill them as well. And they're trying to solve this mystery. It's kind of like a national treasure in a way right now. They're on a national treasure journey. They're in a museum and stuff, but it's crazy to see them black people fighting 2 battles in this one. And, it's fun to cathartic, I'd say, to watch white racist people get what's coming to them. In all these movies that you're watching, that it's just like you're so frustrated. It's like how can the people be so filled with so much hate? All this, we could go on and on. But when this show they kind of get what's coming to them, and I'm not condoning the violence, but it's like, all right, finally, like, you know, fighting back in a way that you're not seeing in these other movies, and just, I don't know, there's a little bit of catharticness to it. Again, I'm not condoning encouraging violence or anything like that. Please don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But it is
There's
just
no lasers in space.
It's satisfying to see.
There's
and
no
it makes
lasers
for
in space.
There's no what?
Lasers in space. You're saying
lasers in space. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
school shootings never happen. But but no, it's actually also a great show. And if you like the paranormal horror kind of stuff while at the same time just watching good show, check out Lovecraft Country. And
nice. That's on
HBO Max.
HBO Max, yep.
And I say that's all the stuff I've watched. I watched a lot of stuff this week.
You watched a shit ton of stuff this week. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yep, two things. I watched Malcolm and Marie just before this podcast. It is not very good. So that's literally all I'll say about that. And so before we get to our review of Dig, I'm going to take a quick break so I can take a pee. And then we'll get to our review of the Dig.
I got some Super Bowl stuff I want to talk about.
All right. We'll get to that after the break. Bye-bye. And we are back. Mr. Dion, you want to talk about the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I got to talk about the Super Bowl because pop culture, man, it's a pretty big deal, I would say.
It is?
I'm going to quiz you on it. I know your sports knowledge is huge, and you knew who the Jaguars were, so I'm confident you'll know all these answers.
All right.
Can you tell me what? Can you tell me?
Yeah.
The two teams in the Super Bowl.
So, here's what I know. I know Mr. Thomas Brady, formerly, right? Yes? No?
I just asked you the two teams, first of all.
Well, I got to give you context because you want to know what I know. Here's what I know.
Well, I'm asking you questions.
And I'm giving them to you. I'm going to give you an answer if you let me.
Fine.
Okay. All right. Mr. Tom Brady, expatriate, is in there. He's with the team from Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right.
Yeah.
That's one.
Versus the New Orleans Saints.
No. You triggered me by saying that. It's
Okay.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs. God damn it.
Who's the quarterback for them?
Kansas City Chiefs. That would be Camus Newton.
No.
Cameron Newton.
That's actually the quarterback for the Patriots currently.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Didn't know that.
Well, maybe not anymore. He was kind of bad. Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm,
okay.
Mm-hmm. Who was the Super Bowl champions last year?
Patriots.
Nope. Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow.
How many times has Patrick Mahomes been to the Super Bowl?
Patrick Mahomes has been to the Super Bowl 3 times.
Close. 2.
Ah.
How many times has Tom Brady been to the Super Bowl?
I know this because they've said it on the Reddit. 10 times.
10 times. Congratulations. How many has he won?
Won 5.
6.
6. Yeah.
Yep. You're doing pretty well. You're close.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Where is the Super Bowl being played?
On Earth.
Correct.
In a stadium on the planet Earth. In the city of Las Vegas.
Wrong. City of Tampa Bay.
Oh, so I thought for some reason they do it in a neutral city.
Nope. They bid it out, and so what happened that Tampa Bay got to host. So,
okay.
Next question: how many times has a team won a Super Bowl in their own stadium?
How many times? I'll say 6.
0. It's funny that you said 6, even though you just said that you didn't think that you thought it was a neutral area. So if it was a neutral area like you thought, then there would be no way that a team would win a Super Bowl in their own stadium, right?
I also thought that the neutral stadium thing was a recent addition.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, actually, it's never been done before. So Tampa Bay has the chance to do this. Atlanta almost did, but they got destroyed by Tom Brady in a Super Bowl, and then the following year, Atlanta hosted the Super Bowl, which was it last year? Oh, maybe the year before that. I don't know. Okay. So my last couple questions.
Yeah.
There's prop bets. You know what prop bets are?
No.
Prop bets are like the coin flip, heads or tails. You know, people can actually bet on these things. It's crazy.
It's like the Uncut Gems thing where you get a bet on who gets a tip off, who gets the lead, things like that. Gotcha.
Yeah, there's crazy stuff like Tom Brady, will he have one rushing touchdown or will he rush for 1 yard? Because he doesn't really do that often.
Gotcha. Yep.
While he's a master at the quarterback sneak, in 9 games, he's never had a rushing touchdown. Pretty crazy.
Really?
Yep. Fun fact. So I have a question for you. What's the coin toss going to be? I am judging you on this. I'm writing down your answers. I'm going to see how right you are.
I'm going to say heads.
Heads. All right. Easy peasy. What color will the Gatorade that gets dumped on the winning coach be?
I'm going to say orange. I feel like it's always orange.
Orange? All right. It's a good guess, man. It's a good guess.
Yeah. Thank you.
And last but not least, I want to know, what do you think the score is going to be?
What?
And who's going to win? Obviously.
All right. What are the teams again?
What are the teams? It'd be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints.
No, it's not the Saints.
Oh, you were paying attention. All right, Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, Kansas City Chiefs. So score is actually going to be 28 Buccaneers 28, Kansas City Chiefs 23.
23? Nice.
Yes, sir.
I was picking 28-21. Chiefs.
Okay. Chiefs. Oh, okay. All right.
You're picking Bucks. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. That's our Super Bowl talk, man. It's more like a Super Bowl quiz. I really wanted to test your knowledge because I know you don't pay attention to sports world ever very much, but you kind of impressed me there for a minute.
Yeah.
You knew the quarterback, Tom Brady.
Yeah. Thomas Brady. Yep, I know him. I know his wife very well.
You were close with all the other answers.
Familiar with her work. Yep.
Good job.
Do you want to do Golden Globes picks this week or next week?
Next week.
Next week. Okay. So with that, let's get to our review of The Dig.
Things like this are usually done through museums.
Yes, but with the war coming, they couldn't embark upon any new ventures.
Well, I've been on digs since I was old enough to hold a trowel. My father taught me.
What are they?
We're standing in someone's graveyard, I reckon. Viking? Oh, maybe older.
Mr. Brown is an archaeologist.
Well, I'm an excavator.
You've come to dig up the mounds.
So you think there's something beneath?
Who are those men?
They're from the museum.
Ye gods! Mrs. Pretty, I think you'd better come and see.
Directed by Simon Stone, stars Carey Mulligan, Ralph Fiennes, Lily James, and Johnny Flynn. The IMDb synopsis is an archaeologist embarks on a historically important excavation of Sutton Hoo in 1939. So Dion, what did you think of The Dig overall? First thoughts on The Dig?
I thought it was a good movie. Thought it was an interesting movie. Based off a real story. Yeah, just fascinating. I didn't think it was slow, like most people said. I thought it was an appropriately paced movie. I mean, let's face it, you're archaeologists. You know, how interesting can that be? You have to understand kind of what you're getting into. It's very meticulous stuff, and so was the movie. I thought the acting was phenomenal. I thought the dialogue was great, and cinematography, great.
Great cinematography on your phone there with the picture-in-picture, right?
Listen, I've got phenomenal eyes, all right?
Oh,
phenomenal
eyes.
Yeah, I see everything.
The way the Lord intended. to view these movies.
Yes.
Yep.
My microwave.
Couple notes I have. It is weirdly paced. I felt like it dropped you in to the middle of the story right at the beginning. It's just like, here's this dude, here's this woman, here's what's going on. Had a weird. I don't know if you ever seen a Terrence Malick movie, but it had that weird sort of ethereal, like streamy-like feel to it with the camera movements at the beginning. 17 minutes in, I clocked this. It was 17 minutes in when that accident happened. Again, spoilers for all of this stuff. Should have mentioned that, but definitely for this movie. 17 minutes in, and his name, Ralph Fiennes, his character, gets trapped in an avalanche of dirt, and you're like, oh shit, he's gonna die. Terrifying. This guy is gonna die that I just met 17 minutes ago. So that was kind of weird to put that in that spot in that movie.
Well, it kind of. I don't want to say it was out of place because he cautioned the woman not to be in the area that he just dug, and he explained that the soil was, if anything, I'd say that him standing in there was just kind of a lapse of his character's judgment. I wouldn't say it was necessarily out of place because the situation called for it.
Yeah. So I like Ralph Fiennes in this movie very much. Carey Mulligan, again, I've said this last time or a couple weeks ago when I talked about Promising Young Woman, one of my favorite working actresses today. She was Daisy in Your Great Gatsby. She was in Drive with my guy Ry Gaz. She was in Shame with Michael Fassbender and Promising Young Woman. She was in this Netflix or a BBC show called Collateral. She's fucking great as always. She has this confident strength about her. But it's weird to if you want to give a woman like confidence and strength and stuff like that, you always put her in pants and have her put her hands in her pockets and walk around like that. You know, it's always weird to have that characteristic on there. Very longish takes. When Edith asks him out, he asks out Basil to dinner with her, and she's in the mirror there, huh?
Isn't it Basil?
Basil, yeah, of course, Basil. I say Basil because I'm American. She asked Basil, whatever it is, Basil. She asked him out, and he didn't decline. What is his wife told him he had to go with his wife or something, right? But anyways, when she finds this out, she's just sitting there for like a good 15, 20 seconds on just the cameras on her face. That was a really good scene with her and her face. Johnny Flynn is in this. He plays Rory. He was Mr. Knightley in Emma, if you remember that movie. He was really good in this as well. Then you have Stuart Pickett. He's clearly got some homosexual tendencies going on, right?
Yeah. He loves playing around with dudes.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, very, very, very good movie overall. Didn't really know anything about this guy. Huh?
Find the Bone. That's his favorite game to play.
Find the Bone. Yep. Yeah, very, very good movie. One of these movies where it's just like, people's contributions to scientific discoveries is
Yes.
often either overlooked completely or buried, pun intended. But yeah, very good depiction of this guy's life that it didn't know anything about. It's interesting to find these things out or where these things come from. In the context of it being 2020 and people trying to be woke and be politically correct or whatever, they talked about how this is going into the British Museum of Art or whatever, and I think most people don't know that, or maybe they do know this, but don't really are aware of how bad it is of the British colonizing the world and taking people's shits and putting them into museums. It's just like, put it, make this place, make the Discovery Zone or make it a place where people can come and see the thing in its proper place. Why do you have to put it in your museum and charge $20 to come see it? Just keep it where it is and make that the display for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. I like a memorial kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's in a museum, there's upkeep, like keeping things preserved properly. Costs money. So I understand there being a fee. It shouldn't be an exorbitant fee, that's for sure. So I don't know how much it actually charges to see these things, but it should be appropriate.
Yeah. Ralph Fiennes was very, very good in this. He did an interview with a podcast I listened to. He was saying how this is one of his most favorite roles he's ever played. Put a lot into it. I feel like he did too. A lot into the mannerisms. Felt like a very shy guy with sort of a hunchback. So very interesting seeing him in this. You can sort of compare and contrast Ralph Fiennes in this compared to his role in like the James Bond movies. He plays the new M. He took over for I forgot what her name was, but he took over for her, and he's known for having an extremely good posture in those movies and overall. So it was very interesting to contrast that with him in this movie where he's sort of hunched over for most of it. So did you like Ralph Fiennes in this?
Yeah, no, absolutely, I did.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I loved how his how deliberate he talked. Well, he seems. How'd you say it? Did you say he seems shy?
Yeah, meekish, shy.
Like yeah, meekish. Yeah. But like when he said things, like he said it with so much, like when he said the things that he was passionate about, he said it with such like conviction, even if it was like this kind of meek tone that it was, very convincing. And he was just one of those people that I feel like I could listen to talk to. It's just even that character, just like regardless of how loud, quiet he is, he's someone that could get you to listen, which I thought was a great touch. Yeah,
like Lincoln in that movie. Yeah. He's very soft-spoken in that movie.
Lincoln was a little bit more animated, but...
Yeah, a little bit. One of the greatest orators of all time, slightly better speaker, yeah. I like this movie overall. I think I like the idea that I think the movie puts forward, which is, the world is falling apart, the world is going to war. This is 1939 England, so Churchill is declaring war. Huh?
No, I agree. Yeah, go ahead.
Churchill is declaring war, and it's this movie about, what is important. Is this little archaeological dig as important? Should we be putting resources in this and sort of, taking time and effort out of our day to sort of take care and what am I trying to find the word? Honor things of the past and sort of put effort and time and resources into that when it could be put into something, like the war. I think a lot of the idea about this movie is just like, what's important, what's really important. Do we need to stop and appreciate this thing in the ground when this other major thing is happening all around us? And I think the movie is saying, yeah, absolutely. It's this. You can't just stop everything. You can't just stop your entire life or stop everything that you feel passionate about just because the rest of the world is falling apart. So that's what I took away from it.
I agree with you mostly there. I thought you were saying that the government was saying, is this worth the time and investment? As the movie, though, if you notice, like every single time the planes flew overhead, everybody would stop and pause and look at it. And it's funny that you specifically said, should things like this be worth the time where you should take time out of your day and solve this when it seems kind of trivial in comparison to the backdrop of the war.
Yep.
And it was funny that every time those planes flew by, or anytime you heard Churchill talking on the radio about going to war, everybody just kind of stops. The world stops. And then after the planes are out of sight, they go back to what they were doing. And exactly where, like, you had that opinion right there, but I think that did a good job at showing it, like, the war is important, and it's going to bring all your lives to a screeching halt. But once it was out of sight, it's just like, this is important too. And they focused on that story. And I thought that was great. I thought having the war in the backdrop was incredible. Yeah. For some incredible scenes.
Yep. Yeah, I really like that. I really like the movie overall. So yeah, I think it was man, things are going really quick. This was like number one or number two thing like last Saturday, and now it's not even in the top 10. So yeah, things are coming and going real quick on Netflix right now.
Well, there's like television series that are being binged instantly and they're gone. Yeah. It's crazy how much stuff's coming out.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I wanted you're talking about all the characters in this and the actors that played them. The kid, the son deserves some props, man.
Yeah,
I thought he was great. I love that scene where he finds out his mother's sick and he's just having like kind of like a breakdown about it, and he goes and talks to Basil's character. Well, Basil's character finds him, and he just had that like really fired up speech where he's like sobbing, but he's like, she doesn't think I can handle it. She doesn't think I can. He's like, I need to take care of her. And I can't do it. I don't know how, and she's not telling me that she's sick. And it was just very. I mean, he's a child and a childish kind of approach, but he was just being like real adult about it. And that scene they had in the boat when they brought, he said he was bringing her sailing, and they set up this whole, I don't know, say bedspread, I guess. And he was pretending to be the captain. He had Basil with him, and the mother was in the back, and he was just pretending they were sailing, and they're looking at the stars. That scene broke me, man. That was awesome. So the kid, even when he had to chase down Basil, like he chased him all the way back to his house, going through Westchester or wherever they were. Yeah. And it's just I thought the kid was great.
Yep.
And that's another thing too, right there, where Basil, he was riding his bike down that path, and they were just showing like scenes of like I don't know, basically just scenes of Westchester. He's driving through like certain time, like it was dawn or like there was fog, and it's just really great cinematography. And specifically that scene on that bike ride.
Yep. That actor is the one you highlighted just then was Archie Barnes. He played Robert Preddy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he was great, man. I love his passion.
Very good.
It wasn't a whole lot of he didn't have a whole lot of speaking roles, but when he did, he killed it.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my thoughts on Dig overall. I thought Carey Mulligan was great in this. Lily James, we forgot to mention, she was great in this as well. Always love her. I think
she's adorable.
She's very adorable. I think she's one of these people that they try to tone down her beauty, or her she has this fucking radiant beauty about her, and they just put her in glasses and a ponytail, and it's just like,
ponytail and glasses. Oh, she's got glasses and a ponytail.
Oh. It's just like, no, doesn't work.
Overalls?
I'm sorry. Yeah, you love that moment. Yeah, but yeah, she was great in this. Great acting overall, cinematography overall. Yeah, really liked it. So yeah, I think she should have. I don't know. I think Carey Mulligan maybe should have gotten a nom for this instead of Promising Young Woman. But I think Promising Young Woman is probably going to be the more talked about movie this year, just because of the subject matter in that. So with that, I think that'll wrap it up. Unless you have anything else you want to talk about.
No, I didn't get to my music stuff. I'll do it next week. I also listened to a new Foo Fighters CD album. Sorry.
New Foo.
It's pretty awful. We'll talk about it more next week.
Yeah. No, you brought a lot of stuff this week. Pack show. I think we did a good job of containing it all.
We're ending earlier than the other podcasts we've had, but we definitely did not adhere to the schedule that I drew up. I thought you had it going where it was because I had it structured where we talked about what we watched together, then you watched separate, and then I watched, and then you kind of went from what we watched together to what you watched, back to what we watched, then back to what you watched. At one point, I just stopped timing shit. So in case you were wondering why you no longer heard this, that would be why, because I just turned the timer off because there was no point. You were so out of sorts. Basically, just took the script and threw it against the wall.
Going off the schedule there.
It's hard to wrangle you, man. It's hard to wrangle you.
Yeah, people write in and tell me if you like the format of the show. Do you want to keep it shorter? Do you like the shorter show, more contained show? Or do you not want me contained? My rage and my criticism cannot be contained.
Listen,
my rage and criticism knows no bounds.
I knew it was an uphill battle because there was going to be a lot to say about WandaVision. And, just every time you put onto the list of things that you've watched, there was another thing. I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot of stuff. I don't think 10 minutes is going to cover that.
So with that, I believe that'll do it for the show. So for Can I Say Something, I've been Damian.
I've been Deej.
And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.